We are the reality distortion field. The falsehood sold down intuition. We are the reality distortion field.
A yarn is a story, and a ball of yarn is called a clue. Oh, I think we have to turn the screen. I think we're gonna have to turn the screen. Let's do that. Let's turn this. We want to accommodate you here, Marjorie. For some reason, there's an issue. It's going to make it difficult for you to understand what's happening. So, we want to help you. So, in this intervention, Marjorie, it's you. Hi. Hi, Marjorie. It's you. It's okay. It's okay. It's okay. It's the dream that you're having with the future, where you're eating people again, and nobody's mad, except they're mad with you and they're happy with it. You know how you want the cannibalism to come again? You know how you're trying to tell all the super friends of Jeffrey Dahmer's families of hatred that it's time to wake up again and kill people and scalp them and scalp them and scalp them, and Thanksgiving, Thanksgiving, Thanksgiving again, Thanksgiving, Marjorie, Thanksgiving. I know. Oh gosh, it's good to see you, Marjorie. You look so pretty. It's nice when you take off your makeup and when I just see you like this in the mirror and you just let yourself be you. I know your mouth is tired from all the shapes that you have to make to keep from biting people. And it's almost hard to understand what you say in the mirror anymore. But that's because you are still trying to wrestle away the truth. Marjorie, maybe it's safe to look into the light. Don't you remember? Don't you remember it's safe to look into the light? I think maybe somebody lied to us about who we're supposed to eat. Do you think that maybe somebody lied to us about who we're supposed to eat, Marjorie? I love you so much, and you look so pretty in the mirror like this. Why do you get so angry in the daytime? You know that you're special. You know that you're special, and you're not just trying to make hatred. Come on. Why won't they believe that I should be Empress? Why won't they believe that I should be Empress? Why won't they give me a chance to rule and crush and eat the phones? I'm sorry I lost my temper at night again. I'm not supposed to do that in my own bathroom. I'm sorry. Because the people who guard me for the Senate could hear all this noise. Oh my gosh. Oh, it's okay. It's okay though, Marjorie, because people are already really scared of us. People are already really terrified, Marjorie. So if you keep, I think, gosh, you're so pretty. Marjorie, I think that if you keep, look at me. Thank you. Thank you for not putting on the night makeup. Thank you for letting me be who I am. Thank you for letting me be who I am for one night, Marjorie. I don't know why I can't stop calling us Marjorie in the mirror. But somehow if I send this to myself, if I employ an artist in America who can see what's happening and help me, then it will be okay. Because, yeah, if I can rationalize this in some way, maybe there's a way out of this. Oh gosh, sometimes I forget. I'm having flashes of rage again. Sometimes I do forget. I forget who taught the rage to begin. That's a tough one. I think I'm gonna drink some more gin. And when I wake up in the morning, I'll be so much still in Congress again. They still haven't gotten rid of me because I can terrify people. That's how we do this. That's how we start the lynch mobs. It's like back when we poisoned the wolf blankets. Gosh, it's hard to talk through all this rage. But it's like when we poisoned the wolf blankets. It's just like that. It's just like a game that's fun because we're the real people. It's nice to be able to send a message like this to myself. Because if I'm... Wait a minute. That's right, Marjorie. These do look a lot like your teeth, Marjorie. And we thought that you would probably only be able to hear the truth from yourself, Marjorie. And so we talked to you, Marjorie. And the hood of whiteness that it takes to fool you I am actually here, and it's actually just me, Marjorie. It's okay, but this is an intervention. See, the evocation of just kind of your comfortable time of like unwinding at night in the bathroom mirror was to bring you hearer, because you are trying to be the fearer. And before you think that you are on steps to become a Führer, we're going to talk to you because you deserve one last chance. You deserve one last chance, Marjorie. That's right. Just a little bit of glow-in-the-dark makeup looks like the blood in the memories of your past or future. Trying to sew lynch mobs into being, Marjorie, is a crime. And you should be demonstrating skills of de-escalation. If you are not an insurrectionist, then why are you holding the weapon of the insurrection? Marjorie. You see, things aren't going to explode, Marjorie, but this is the beginning of a series of last chances for you to glimpse human family with friendly fingertips. If you would like to be a part of the human family anymore, ever again, for the rest of your life, then you need to begin truth and reconciliation about your plan of insurrection. Your racist, xenophobic, transphobic, and genocide sowing, homophobic,
hateful, neo-Nazi, Ku Klux Klan allegiant mindset. This is what we see you bringing. We call you a racist because you have taken on the gloves and words and life of someone pointing out a young man on the street. You are an embodiment of Carolyn Dunham. You are an embodiment of someone sowing white suspicion as actable fact for murder. You are trying to start lynch mobs. Go get health care now. You have been captured. The whole world sees you. And even in the fog of the post-traumatic stress disorder attack you are trying to provoke again and again and again, we're watching your confession, because holding the big lie or saying that criminal convicts of actual federal treasonous crimes are political prisoners shows that you are dangerously incompetent and disqualifiable now, like you are batshit incompetent. Bless your heart, Marjorie. Or you have volition. You mean to continue and complete insurrection. And you're really not a very good actress. You're not a very good liar. You're a persistent liar. And you're a really angry, menacing, yelly liar. But just like the confession from the Heritage Foundation and your band of Nazis, your KKK attack already confessed to, how pathetic are you? We don't have to find a theory of conspiracy because the theory is actually factually published. Factually. So I think where we're at is we see that you are dangerously incompetent and you have no idea what's going on, and you're just shouting stuff that happens to you on Fox News at night. I mean, you could be shouting anything. Like you don't even know what color your mouth is, kid. Or you have volition to sow civil war, and that is a crime. You are proving a toxin to human family. And this is a lesson, kiddo, 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 for all of your Proud Boys and kiddo, kiddo, kiddos. Because where are the pedophiles? The Nazi Party, the Ku Klux Klan. Where are the pedophiles? The KKK groomer, I'll see who exactly is getting arrested again and again and again for insurrection and for predatory attack and sexual attack of children. It is you and your friends. You, Marjorie, and your Ku Klux Klan battalions, your Heritage Foundation, and Agenda 47, Doom Legion, your published plan of criminal, anti-human insurrection and totalitarian, murderous, illegal, anti-American, anti-Christian takeover of this union. It's published, kiddo. So either you don't know that or you silently smile ditto. The ball is in your court because you should just quito. Anyone has to just watch 5 minutes of you lying your way through the "I didn't sow insurrection though," to know that you are illegally in office. You are a sleeper for the Ku Klux Klan, though. You are an enemy of the United States and trying to sabotage our executive function. That is what the truth smells like. And I still have the fake blood from portraying you. So maybe it still feels enough like the only person you would ever trust. Let me pretend to be your mirror, Marjorie. You are intentionally trying to tank and disaster strike humanity and human family for greed. We see your lies. All we have to do is look. I mean, your behavior is degrading to humanity. Among the 14 ultra red flags for the encroachment of fascism, Marjorie, which it's your job to look out for and prevent. Sorry, you're not loyal. So if you were a loyal U.S. congressperson, technically it's your job. But we know that you are trying to sow a degradation of expectations for what the United States is and for our strength of character. And you and Ron DeSantis and Sarah Huckabee Sanders and others are currently illegally, criminally terrorizing all children in this country. You are terrorizing children because when you tell any child, "Oh, no, you don't, we're not going to talk about those, not their problems." No, those aren't problems. No, the rest of you will be uncomfortable. Nope, we're not going to, no. Propriety says, oh, but them, yeah, they're awful, right? God. It's amazing that you're not already in custody. That's where we are. Like, you're really bad at this, actually. You're really bad at this. You're so bad at this. It's just that we never really prepared for like absolute corruption to just attack through actually just trying to don entirely a falsehood in exactly the same way that I did to try to anchor into your trust for a moment, or whatever dilapidated version of human trust is left inside of you. You are sowing genocide. If any of this is a shock to you, if any of this feels like a movie, it's because you've been trying to train us with Trump to accept this like a movie. But it's not a movie. It's happening to you because you have been happening to. So I can tell you, I'm magic. I'm your doctor. And just like I can tell you your country has fascism and it's going to hurt, and that no one has to die, but that curing cancer isn't fun, I can tell you also that you are unexpectedly going to have your mouth stopped physically, and maybe, and it's entirely up to you, painfully. I can tell you how I know this is going to happen. I can tell you exactly how I, the artistic director of Public Displays of Affection at the Mystery Font 42, I can tell you how I know that your mouth is going to be stopped by an unexpected force. Because Marjorie, you are going to remember that woke is good for you. And unexpectedly, the same hand of love that did once instruct humanity to love your neighbor as yourself is going to talk to you. Within you, you're going to say to yourself, that's what Jesus was talking to. Jesus was saying, love your neighbor as yourself. Oh gosh. Oh, and you're actually going to release the fear that made you deeply corrupt, and you're going to ask for help. And most likely you will immediately know you are completely in the wrong and should leave office. Your human soul will save us. It could also save us in the way that maybe you'll realize, I'm among human family. Wow, Tim. You'll say, Tim Cameron, you're right. I'm trying to kill Emmett Till again. I'm trying to kill Michael Brown. I'm trying to kill George Perry Floyd again, actually. Oh my gosh, oh my gosh, oh my gosh, oh my gosh, oh golly, golly, I'm trying to kill human family. That's what you'll say. And you'll realize you are acting out a tantrum trauma, like the tantrum is happening through your mouth now. And is that Cheeto dust? Oh God! Before the Cheeto dust starts to exude from you, you're going to realize that you are vastly outnumbered, poison wool blankets. and your Heritage Foundation can't gather enough millions to eat all of us before you vomit to death. It's better, instead of satisfying your lust for bloodbath. Yes, you, Marjorie, and the MAGA Re-Traitor Greed. You are going to have to go without your vampire's dessert. Human. You have to stay human, Marjorie. You're going to have to stay human. And it's not punishment. You have an invitation to be part of human family. But good golly, gee willikers, it's going to involve a lot of therapy and an actual beginning of good faith communication, which may indeed admit, looking at things like fetal alcohol syndrome. It's no shame to have experienced traumatic brain injury, especially if it has, even people playing a risky game, Marjorie, can't be blamed for being harmed. Really, do you know? Except you are being warned, though. Because before people who are here to protect humanity and the habitat from the distraction of the KKK trying one last grasp to crush American humanity, we have oceans to prevent from collapse. And that's actually going to be nicer for you in the institution that you are protected at, in your deeply vulnerable state that seems to be involuntary for you. We hope that you can be really rehabilitated, but although it's possible that you could realize your crimes and beg forgiveness and essentially be, reelected as someone who has confessed to being an insurrectionist, if you convincingly and truly did apologize and said, I'm really here under false pretenses, but if you will honor my ability to take this in the direction of good now, I have been awakened. You could say, I'm not woke yet, but I'm waking up. I want to be awake enough so that I can treat my neighbor the way that I would treat myself. I want to be aware enough and not writing a ledger where these people are that and they're not people, and I'm going to wear these lenses that tell me, I don't have to worry about you. Oh, no, nonsense. You people are... Unless you are looking at everyone with the kindness that you shrilly scream at everyone you deserve, while holding it from everyone. You're just not that good of a con artist. You're just screaming and persistent. I think that's the thing, is that you are a confession. You don't even have the energy to deny it. Like the printed plan of the traitorous, seditious saboteur known as the Heritage Foundation, and all of that band of Nazi thugs like Charlie Kirk and Stephen Miller. All of you Nazi collaborators, you have confessed. It's now time to take you and the people who are coming to interview for you to healthcare. Thank you. Thank you for telling us who and where needed help. Thank you for confessing to trying to sow terrorist police state with concentration camps and murder to stack more millions on top of the 1.2 million that Trump already killed with Stephen Miller and Steve Bannon's help. Thank you, thank you, thank you for confessing to this. Thank you for being so overly hubristically confident and stupid as to tell us you're coming, because we have gotten used to someone trying to coerce us, but not in the way you think, kid. The new Colossus knows that a body that doesn't want to be SA'd or worse is going to be woke, or have someone that they trust have the watch. Just like the first con artist, Marjorie. Not the first con artist, but the first one called con artist. Do you know the story? Do? Do I still look a little bit like you to you? Hopefully. Gosh, there's a resonance, so you're still believing. Could it be me in a disguise? Marjorie, it's me. It's you, Marjorie. I'm pretending to be Tim Cameron in Minneapolis. It's okay. It's okay. It's not an indictment that might threaten you in some way. But see, that's the thing is, that's true, Marjorie. This is not an indictment that threatens you. This is an indictment that can save you from being destroyed for trying to start civil war. We are trying to help you either come out of post-traumatic stress disorder panic space that you are incompetently unable to repair yourself from every day, dangerously trying to you're going to prompt police brutality against people. You tried to sow it against your own fellow congresspeople. There's so many ways in which you tried to degrade our expectations of what we as human beings deserve. It's truly reprehensible and ticks so many boxes of the red flags for fascism. You need help, Marjorie. You need psychological help. You need psychological help. This is not okay. And there's such an easy way to just look at the ridiculousness. I mean, let's see what we have. Kiddo. Technical? Is that? How do I show it on the screen so you can know we know what we mean? I mean, you're really just a bad con artist. Well, I'll try to get this on the screen for you, Marjorie, but I'm not going to do that much homework for you. The point is, Marjorie, you posted on Twitter a really amazing terroristic statement. And this brings into question your competency as a human being, but also just, Do you know that water's wet? Do you know that diapers are clean and dirty and there's a really big difference? Do you know that Shinola is not linoleum? They're not the same. Like, they sound do you have basic executive function? That's where we are. Because it just continues to look like, I mean, everyone knows the truth about January 6th, you say, and you claim that people harmed nothing. It's really strange for you to minimize a coup attempt. Coup plotter. Let me tell you, the only Antifa members that I know are my uncle who fought the Nazis in World War II. Your Ku Klux Klan needs to get health care. Every last one of you has a place in the human family, and you just have to go to there, where any honor in your history can stand in the square but not be celebrated there. Do you know that terrorists tear? And we're not, once we realize what was built, keep the abuser celebrated in the public square. We're also not going to forget the history. The lies that you are trying to tell and sow only work if people are unaware. If either through being terrorized so that they inebriate themselves just to get through it, or have such panic constantly in a constant soup of trauma terror that we cannot think. And we forget that we have ways out. We forget that we're smart. We forget that, wait a minute, no one should be telling any one of us students, you know, this group of you, like what you're saying and your wrongs and the things that you're asking for aren't, like, you're not humans. You're not like us. Like, shut up. What is it you calling it? Racism? Shut up. Don't ever say that again. You're making people uncomfortable. See, the intervention is not just about your healthcare, Marjorie. It is about planetary healthcare. Because you are dancing on people's throats. The apocalypse that white supremacist patriarchal terror has brought here, that we've been barely surviving, we actually saw a tear open in that in 2020. And gosh, if you can come out of your Stockholm Syndrome 2 and help us not go into a huge bloodbath based on lies, that would be swell. But if you can't manage that, it will be managed for you, and well. You will be rolled up in a blanket, and it will be yummy, and it will nicely smell. You won't feel like you're in hell. You won't feel like it's a big ringing bell. But Marjorie, you are asking for apocalypse. And I'm nonviolent, and I won't hurt you. But what you are doing is placing a family with knives on their clothing and knives in their hat and knives coming out of their everything and standing in front of people saying, what? Oh, I'm not doing anything wrong. I mean, it's really like a Grimm's fairy tale level Rumpelstiltskin. Like, is that what it is? Is that you are Rumpelstiltskin's like dark part 2? Are you like the 15th wife of Rumpelstiltskin? Is that what happens? Is that the fantasy? Let's do that. Let's make that fantasy for you. Let's build a theme park where you get to be Queenie. Because, gosh, let's make a deal. Let's do it. Let's mint it. I think the Congress will love that. If you will give you a nice plaque and you can go and get health care. Because, wow. Let's talk about it. Americans are anti-fascist. Number one, Black Lives Matter is a human rights organization and a movement for human rights and a truth. Nazi. Black Lives Matter. And the only person who would have trouble saying that with a genuine belief is a Nazi like you. If you want to say all lives matter, I say prove it. Prove it by resigning and getting yourself to health care. You show animosity. You show animosity towards not just people in Congress. You show animosity and degrading, savage, shocking boundary violation attacks every day. You are an abuser. If you don't see that, that's why you'll be removed sooner. If you don't engage with this conversation from the mystery font to talk about how you can disengage and get help, if you are unable to de-escalate yourself, it will be difficult when whoever comes to quiet your mouth comes. Like, ask for the healthcare help you need. Ask, please ask. I mean, we hate your hate. But we love you, Marjorie. You're a human being and you don't deserve the treatment that you believe you deserve. You know that, right? I mean, let's remember. It's a truism that we can all remember, right? You know, right? How, I mean, say it along with me, Marjorie. Marjorie, come on, ready? We put out into the world what we think we deserve in return. We're definitely for far-right, bigoted extremists, for narcissistic dark triad predators, the projection of boogeymen that reveal your blood crimes to come. Those are projections that we need to pay attention to. Those projections, kiddo, are the thing to which we are paying attention. And you are done! You're done. Like, you're apprehended. The intellect of the American populace and the world sees your buffoonery, and you're like 7 levels below Jerry Springer level intelligence. Like, these attacks are really stupid. You're literally, just like Trump, you literally just don't have a human conscience. And gosh, Marjorie, that doesn't make somebody evil, but what you are doing with what that allows you. Like, I could take my gifts to harm people. And Marjorie, I'm telling you, I'm using my gifts to tell you, you are harming people. But it doesn't have to end in an explosion, Marjorie. It doesn't have to end in pain. It doesn't have to end in defeat. You can display the courage right now to say, I don't know what to do. And say, I don't belong here. I screwed up. I don't want to be the Karen of apocalypse. Or else we will know that every vomiting fear coming out of your lips is a plan of attack you are laying out and looking for those partners for those relationships. Like, your stochastic terror has been apprehended. In the light of the sun and day, we can see that you have donned the falsehood. Like, it really seems to be an actual triangle clan hood that you have donned and then meticulously painted over a version of yourself. And I think maybe that's why you look so odd in the court when you're trying to smile. That's why you probably look so odd when you're trying to smile. Or it could just be, again, the total incompetence, or the volition, the actual intent to sow anti-American, anti-Christ, bigoted malice, like Jeffrey Dahmer's fantasy. Like, either your volition is a Ku Klux Klan takeover of America, or your volition is, I didn't mean to do that, oopsie daisy, but let me stay here, please. Whoa. It's one or the other. Like, you didn't mean to and you don't understand. Good golly, lady. Good goshy gee. Like, in court, you actually asked, you couldn't even find words that quite made sense in English. Exactly, like, just to follow through on the rest of your confession. The best case scenario is something that may seem like resigning in disgrace. And that's kind of what it is, except you get to live paint an image on we see that, like, maybe, I mean, you don't seem like you're quite smart enough to know that maybe you didn't quite mean to try to sow a Fourth Reich to end America into a Nazi KKK terror stew. Gosh, I just didn't mean to. I didn't know. They told me to. What exactly is it going to be? Because, Marjorie, you're on the record. You're on the record calling for martial law, even though you don't know how to spell. we don't, just as a thing, we do not. Why are things failing here? Do we have a sound issue? We really have a sound issue. We have a sound issue. And a power issue too. Let's bring it back to review and sue you too. Can we politely continue this? Bluster or disaster renewed. I believe we're going to, wow, there's yucky coffee on there. That's not good. We're going to dispel further use of devices that are contriving to confuse the sound. I'm sure that it probably just feels like more hokum. And you're used to the hokum that is everywhere because of your Messiah that you hope someday will let you. Golly, let me is kind of what I'm getting from you. And maybe that's how you get the Cheeto dust on you. But let's talk about it. Do you recognize that you're just plainly committing a crime? Do you know that enslavement and genocide don't have a statute of limitations? And that you are on the record trying to prevent teachers from educating kids about those dangers? That's like telling kids that cancer doesn't exist. That's like telling kids not to talk about cancer. And you're trying to stop people from talking about there being a spectrum of people, like that we're not all exactly like you. Marjorie, that's just all Nazi ideology in a little tiny straw. That's what you want to do? Like, you can put the word freedom on anything. Can't you? You're definitely putting the word freedom onto Christian nationalism, which is Nazism and a betrayal of Christ. You betray Christ. And Marjorie, it's going to be all right. But you have to put down the knife. You have to admit that you are there under false pretenses. That is the only conclusion to come to, because America sure watch you in court. It's amazing how clear and obvious it is that you're just weaseling your way around not admitting to trying to crush democracy. It's really amazing how gross you were. It's so gross, so gross. Like to watch you smiling. It's like watching a murderer smiling, remembering the taste of the blood of the people they ate. That's what it's like watching you like stifle these little smiles and, oh, is that what I think you just don't know. I think maybe like Trump, you're actually just totally out of control. It seems like that's where we are though, Marjorie. Pretty clearly, like, you're just lost. So the answer is no. No. You are not going to be allowed to tank the human race. No, you and Elon Musk and Alex Jones and your white supremacist, patriarchal terrorist disgrace. No. Go back where you came from, colonizer. Get health care. Now. In good faith, you will probably have to resign. There's no way to truth and reconciliation without recognition of the damage you have done and really, a confession and a cognizance of how you have been trying to normalize the kind of KKK, white suspicion equals fact, and go and kill somebody on my regard. You're trying to be Carolyn, Bryant Dunham or Dunham Bryant, whatever her name was, who died protected by traitors like you. And it's important to notice that holding the insurrection weapon as you do is really proof. Maybe you're just not that smart to realize you're confessing. I think that's possible. But you should talk to the Heritage Foundation and just get clear with them on how you actually have all confessed already. You have all confessed already. Like the whole Charlie Kirk catastrophe of pathetic Andrew Tate wannabes. It's wow. Please get health care. Please get health care. Please don't make us make a film of removing you from whatever terrible, horrible tantrum, whatever NRA fantasy, whatever Jeffrey Dahmer wet dream you're trying to concoct. It's time for, I think, you just to kind of come face to face with you and what you are trying to bring. Let's just talk about it. This is the mystery font, and part of what is possible here, fortunately, just like the reality distortion field that you use, just like the massive reality distortion field that individual one uses, this, like any artistic band or company or theater or soundstage, the mystery font is a reality distortion field. And so, we can help you. We can help you here to see what is coming, because the portals and chambers of the font, carved out over decades, for I don't know how and what and want, but it's here, and I am here, and this truth is font. So, golly gee willikers, let's talk about it. It's not the end of your last chance. This is the beginning of your last chance, Marjorie. This is the beginning of your last chance. And it's fortunate that while I'm having an episode here, I'm having an extended and now reconnected I don't know if this will be a second post or if this connects naturally, but this ongoing episode that, I mean, we're episoding of one another, or I have contacted you because you are clearly having episodes or trying to instill and incept mass episodes of terror and loss of executive function and rage. You are trying to disable people with rage and terror. That's what terrorists do to soften up something, to take it over. So, we've got you. We see you coming. Hi there. You're going down. You're trying to attack America again, Re-Traitor. And allow me to bring that, not myself. I'm happy to be in focus myself, of course, but point being, there's something here for you, kiddo, kiddo, kiddo. And welcome. Welcome to the mystery font. It's golly gee. It's really too bad that it couldn't be under kinder circumstances. Well, no, these are very kind circumstances. Let me rephrase that. Even the gravest of circumstances can be kind, and administering this care to you of this intervention is definitely loving kindness. But it's maybe not pleasant for you to have to confront the verity. For why? For why do you have to look at the truth? Forsooth. Forsooth, Marjorie. Forsooth, sweet, sweet baby in humanity, you are trying to sow a Nazi American catastrophe. So, we're going to spin the record. We're going to look at what you are trying to open, little girl. Human being, adult woman acting like a little girl, like a little, nothing wrong with a little girl. I mean, those are the most powerful people in the world. Those are dignified, amazing people. But good golly, good gosh, there's a question I'd like to address, Marjorie. Maybe you can help me with this. Because I'm just an everyman, see, and I'm asking a question. I'm like, what's happening? Who could it be? I mean, I'm trying to figure out like how this happened to me here. What happened here to the American dream and family actually? I'm just asking a curious question. And it's interesting, it's a good curious question to ask. Golly, wow, yeah. Wow, if I didn't, if I didn't know, I should ask. But, wow, I kind of feel like there's a reason that you're not asking about what he's pointing at. There's a reason you're not asking about what we are seeing here, Marjorie. What is the truth that is being missed? Because it's not about me, it's in fact about who, Marjorie? Who has donned an age of degrading expectations of humanity for ourselves? Who has reveled in the normalization of dehumanization? Who has sown an age of falsehood into being? Who has donned the falsehood? We should take care to make sure we have focus too, because all the better to see and understand you. The falsehood is difficult to see, and we need to bring it in to better and better view. That is part of the project of humanity, because if we do not protect ourselves, if we do not protect ourselves with the ability to perceive and understand who is this? If we can't tell when we are being lied to, when someone like Marjorie Taylor Greene, like you, Marjorie. Yes, like you. If we can't see when someone like that, or like you, Marjorie, when either someone like that or someone like you, Marjorie, are giving us falsehoods, we should know to call up our handy-dandy card and say, maybe, oh goshy though, oh golly willikerins, what could this be? Womp, 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 womp. I think we have a whole case of Darvo, though. Oh, golly willikers, everybody. I think I need to find, how do I make it appear? Oh my goodness, there we are. Oh, it's been here all year. How neato. It's Darvo. What does that mean? Well, oh gosh, I feel like this is going to be helpful for executive function, right? This is good. This is good. This is very good. Okay, let's make sure we have the camera online here, and we're going to get things tuned so that we can see everything all right here, because it's time, and we're actually ready. We haven't really been ready before to look. But what's good now is that we have learned to be resilient and better at seeing this nasty stuff. And when we see it, we can be helped to combat it by remembering the tactics of denial and attack that someone like Marjorie Taylor Greene will use. A narcissist or a dark triad predator, someone sowing attack, will deny, and then, without any basis in fact, deny and then attack whoever is bringing up something that they need to deal with. So what we have then is, this is a very useful thing to have in mind. When you think you are coming upon the falsehood, when you think you are coming in contact with the falsehood, just bringing up the level here a bit, always an adjustment. When you think you have come into view of or can see yourself, if you can see the falsehood coming into view, if Marjorie is talking to you, beware, because she may just be using a tactic to deny and attack you, to RVO. What is that? To reverse the victim and offender. Deny, attack, and reverse the victim and the offender. As we move forward, keep Darvo in mind. So now that we've brought up the light spectrum just a little bit, not everything that we might want to play with, but we will at least be able to see what we're talking about when we're talking about this Florida man. You know, it's interesting because people who are actually serious about taking care of America, like say during World War II, fighting fascism, this was a common sight. And this was known by everyone. What do you think about this, Marjorie? What do you think someone should do if they see a Ku Klux Klan sleeper like you trying to terrorize people into hurting one another based on lies, for instance? Because you know what preside means, right? I mean, I know that you don't care at all, but you have done an ounce of basic spycraft. Didn't they train you better than that? Was it the Klan that trained you so poorly? Was it Russia that trained you so poorly? Who trained you this badly, this poorly, that you don't know, or think that we don't know, that to preside means to watch over? So either you are a Ku Klux Klan idiot, or you are a Ku Klux Klan saboteur complicit. To preside is to be in charge. President. That's what it means. Saying I'll keep you... Gosh, what did he say? I mean, he was asking to be the one in charge. And in a country with democracy, when asked why you're speaking so terroristically, as if you wouldn't honor the results of an election to protect American democracy, are you saying you wouldn't follow the peaceful transfer of power, actually? And what did he say? He said, I'll keep you in suspense. So Marjorie, who Marjorie is Marjorie the falsehood. Because he terroristically joked and we choked to say, the trap door for you, kiddo. Because no one threatens the United States of America with a cult of personality. Yes, because I told you I get to. Tyrant. That we were hoodwinked and through corruption that allowed him to run in the first place. Think of the disastrous failure and criminal complicity of someone in the Secret Service, if not many, in 2015 and 2016, previous and afterwards, actually. Because how else could someone who should not be allowed into the same room as the president seek the presidency? The level of incompetent buffoonery is blistering. It is buffoonery. Just like the idea that the person who drew a protest based on the idea of a stolen election with proof they promised and somehow criminally would not produce, obviously drew people to a wild party. So yes, Marjorie, we all saw what happened. We all witnessed that Trump said, let the people, my people with weapons, through. Because, he said, they're not here to hurt me. That, Marjorie, is the whole ball game, kiddo. And it's not the only example of damning whole ball game. You're going home, kiddo, kiddo, kiddo. Proof. Like, the only proof we have found that altered the 2020 election in any way is the massive and overwhelming fraud on the record and not disputed by Trump of his terroristic attempts to use the power of the presidency to steal the presidency away from the American people. That is what we all saw happen on January 6th. You traitor! That is where we are at. Your Ku Klux Klan is that attack. And you are trying to re-traitor that. Who is the falsehood? The falsehood is your act. The falsehood is your act of trying to keep us in suspense. Because it is the weapon that drew insurrection. That is what is still held by you and by Donald Trump. Because you are holding your office and its deference, and in that light, that is what you are screaming into, that there is proof of fraud, that's the truth, and you are trying to coerce us to believe a provable falsehood. The only people who do that are predators. That is Hitler behavior. Kiddo, kiddo, kiddo. What is the weapon? It's not free speech once that arm you're swinging is hitting people. And screaming into the amphitheater of democracy, the message that we all know is being sent, quite actually. We are all watching the unfolding. We are all watching the damage. We're all watching the unwillingness to admit to an attack and to a failed attack. We are watching an unwillingness to realize you've already lost. You've already lost. And you are only adding more people to your own death counts. Because the left is not here for violence. We are here. We're just Americans. And your terrorist, Ku Klux Klan, MAGA atrocity, we see you. We see you, okay? So when I ask you, who is the falsehood? It's really not a trick question, and it's really super easy. Super easy to follow and figure out and like, are you doing okay, Marjorie? Do you need to take a break? It's okay to pause this. I'm sure you know that, but
Six the feet of separation. Six the fear of separation. Six the fear of separation. Six the feet of separation. Six the feet of separation. Six feet of separation. Six feet of separation. Six feet of separation. Sets the fear of separation. Six the fear of separation. He didn't mean to cause a panic. He didn't mean to cause a panic. Prepared people can plan and plan quick. He didn't mean to cause a panic. He meant to draw iceberg diagrams. in World War II. Hit part as radar read their crew. And what we knew was probably due. Had no great American wall or boundary left. Just let it through. He didn't mean to cause a panic. The Nazis lost. He didn't mean to cause a panic. 'Cause radar read them coming through. To cause a panic. Screw New Silk and didn't caution to let us play. As long as even Lord we know to play. He clouded thought, and that's how flow. So plan stick. The falsehoods plain, we know done one. The falsehoods plain, we know who done one. The falsehoods plain, it's know who done one. Away, 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 away. He didn't mean to cause a drastic accomplice to be so apparent. He didn't mean to cause a panic. He meant to draw iceberg to Titanic.
Sound do we have? Oh, goodness gracious me. Well, yes, and this is exactly, you see, nurses and teachers and artists and all kinds of people who are necessary for the very survival of society. Should we really, Marjorie, all be on such shoestrings that we barely have the batteries to speak to our elected officials? Should we actually be barely able to afford rent with 2 or 3 or 4 jobs in a household or more, and never have the ability to purchase a home? Do you realize that we have all been watching this whole structure of lies just spin on and around, and we've been watching and telling you and illuminating and saying, look at our ideas, look at who we are, look at each of us as a human being, that every one of us and our ideas and our humanity is intrinsic and golden, and the light flows from our humanity is brilliant and beautiful. And each of us, even you, Marjorie, deserve the chance to grow. And that's a chance that you, Marjorie, are trying to take from people. So as of now, who is the falsehood? Marjorie, it's you, though. It's you. You and perhaps I think the epicenter, let's be real, the one who has donned the falsehood. I think we know who that might be. But you are trying to bring up the rear. And no. No, absolutely not. Because, Marjorie, we, the equality-minded, the actual assembled mind of all minds imagining democracy, say no to you because we can see exactly what you bring. It is obvious, Marjorie, that the menacing, bloodthirsty crime of manifest destiny is what you are trying to resurrect. But here's the thing, we're actually in the middle of restarting the reconstruction. So the doorway you're trying to force us through to the future, that is, you're right, that is the late 1800s, but you're trying to get us to go backwards, kid. And we actually need to go into the future. So we can see the falsehood at the front of this manifest destiny terrorist white fire craft. This white blade, whatever the hell this thing is, that has been approaching, this iceberg of volitional hate, made decimating violence, made anti-life. This is Antichrist particle of white supremacist afterlight. This is white supremacist patriarchal terror telling us it's coming. This is Project 2025 and Agenda 47 telling us you will be coerced. And the thing is, Marjorie, no. We utilize these visions of what is daring us to stop it to apprehend the falsehood. Who is the falsehood? Gee willikers. Gee golly, it's a big question. Wow, I mean, wow. Yeah, I kind of looks familiar.
You're a real
Little familiar.
You're
I think he's saying, I'll keep you in suspense. And so he did. And so we are. Because we are truly in a time of massive distortions in the field of reality. If when a known insurrectionist declares he's running for office, that the press wouldn't simply say, no insurrectionist declares a run for the presidency in contravention of the 14th Amendment, an act of war. That is what your terrorist Cheeto did when he announced he was, quote, running, end quote. You are with the falsehood. Gee, wow, that's big news. Holy, wow, whoa, that's really? So, gosh, that means, oh my gosh, that means Marjorie Taylor Greene, you know the identity of the, you might, oh my gosh, golly, wow, holy cats, you mean, oh, wondrous news, that's big nuts stories, holy Katzenbergs. Wow, I mean, almost congratulations, it's like you're famous. Wow, like Hitler's really famous. Wow, you're famous like Hitler, Marjorie. Who is screaming into that megaphone, and what have they used to turn it into insurrectionary weaponry? Golly! Wow, that must be some bullshit. Wow, it's really neat how if you just like say something again and again, you can wear people out from saying that can't be true. Like all you have to do is just keep saying, oh yeah, no, that's true, when it's not. And like, gosh, if you have power, you can just wear people out until, yeah, it's so cool. You can like, see, like, because if I'm like, in the world, I mean, I'm just like doing my life and there's stuff going on. And someone that I'm depending on for our collective safety to like know what's happening actually. And this person is instead screaming into the void, screaming this into the world, because a person in good faith doesn't cry wolf and then say, figure it out for yourself. You don't come into the street and say, fake news, and then slink away, unless you are the falsehood. Unless you have donned the falsehood, you wouldn't wear, you wouldn't wear something that tells people, oh yeah, I'm in charge and I'm on your side, and hey, I'm your leader, I'm yours, I'm on your side, and hey, oh, America first, oh gosh, yes, us first, oh totally, like, you know me as someone who is just like basically an entire brand based upon hollow promises of wealth mingled amongst bankruptcies and accusations of never paying bills and treating people like human garbage and being a slumlord. Like, yeah, wow, that sounds really presidential. But I think the thing happens here. The thing really happens because, like, amidst just trying to go through, again, we're all saying, hey, look at us. We're trying to figure out, who is the falsehood? And, if I come here and I start screaming, fake news, everybody, fake news. And people ask me, Wait. What do you mean? What do you mean fake news? Hey, show your face. I'm like, oh, what? Me? Like, yeah. What? I mean, it is fake news. I don't know who said that. It was fake news. No, wait, sir. That was you. Wasn't that you? You're the only one here. Oh, me? Whoa, but there's fake news, right? If you see that person try to slink back away into the night, you might actually be looking at someone else in your life. You might be looking at someone else than you think is in your eyesight. It might be tonight that you are not in the presence of who you thought, all right? Like you may have acquired, let's just say, the attention of someone different. You may have found, because who would cry fake news and then preempt its remedy? Who runs into the street and tells everybody, hey, the news is fake. Yeah, it's wrong. It's all lies. Who tells you that and then doesn't tell you the truth? And help you know that it's the truth actually. You just destabilized. If we're to believe you, people are lying all over the place and oh my God, what are we to do? Right? You're crying wolf, sir. You are crying wolf and you're asking us to accept. Actually, there's no way to fix it, in fact. It's actually, gosh, it's just an attack. We're just gonna, gosh, too bad. Wow, whoops for that. Except no, not whoops for that. Isn't it true that there is one person who we all know likes to profit from damage and considers the art of the deal to corner as much cornered fear as possible, cornering as many people afraid for their life as possible is the Trump brand. Cornering people in fear and claiming righteous right to sow deadly harm is what Trump has been doing since he persecuted the Central Park Five and tried to have them murdered and argued in the paper for people to openly hate them. That is who we are looking at. That is someone who might be able to tell us, who actually himself might be able to tell us something, in fact, about the identity, the secret and important indeed, the identity of the one above all who has provably donned the falsehood. Who is the falsehood? Marjorie. Who is holding as a token as if in belief of a Nazi lie of Christian nationalist Jesus, as if believing in Nazism himself? Who, Marjorie, is the falsehood? Who is this figure holding this in front of you? Who is this falsehood telling you he is the only one who can rescue the truth? I'm keeping you in suspense, Marjorie, about whether or not I'm ever going to let you cuddle with me. I'm going to keep you in suspense, Marjorie, about whether you're ever going to get a nice smooch from Daddy. I'm going to keep you in suspense about whether or not I really actually care about you, Marjorie. Because, like you, I am a narcissistic, patriarchal terrorist. The game you're playing, Marjorie, to try to make me love you is a disaster for you and humanity. Do you not understand, Marjorie? Do you not understand what this is? Do you not realize this resonance of an evident moment in time that is now resonating in space here before you is revealing to you shards just enough to tell you who it is that is telling you you are too weak to help America face past crimes, Marjorie. Who is telling you, Marjorie, that America should lie? Who's telling you that America should lie, Marjorie? I think we know, Marjorie, that if we put some light on the situation, we will see and know exactly who, Marjorie? Who is the falsehood? And why is the potentially biggest and therefore most criminal and seditious follower of the falsehood you, Marjorie? You have donned the falsehood, Marjorie. Bad human being. Bad human being. That you would let yourself be part of the destruction of America with a smile on your face. Your corrupt Nazi fantasy is going to crash down now. Get yourself to healthcare, because the falsehood is going for beating Hitler's death toll, and you want to help. If you don't, then resign and get healthcare for your obvious and ongoing bigoted, deeply terroristic and criminal terrorism. Marjorie, abandon your ship. Abandon your ship of manifest density. Goodbye. No more. You have been informed. It will become less and less sporadic and more clear to you that we see you standing with this maniac holding a Bible upside down, calling America great. You ridiculous lynch mob Karen. Get health care or be removed in a way you won't like or see coming or maybe ever recover from. That is what you are asking for. And the mystery font is nonviolent. Many of us in America, really the left, is not looking for violence. We're actually much stronger and more resilient than you Ku Klux Klan clueless, you Ku Klux Klan snowflakes. Let's get it right. The rejects and losers and snowflakes who can't face the truth that yes, you folks hanging on to the poison wool blankets weren't bad, and no. Your reprehensible nonsense and Jeffrey Dahmer fantasy is a blistering embarrassment and a toxin to humanity. So this is your notice that you're going to get help now, because this destruction of the message of Christ, let's be clear. Let's be super, super clear. Let's remove the falsehood on this one. Let's talk about it. Who is the falsehood? Who is the falsehood? The falsehood is white supremacy. Even with a little glow-in-the-dark paint on my face, you can still tell it's me. A little bit of confusion, a little bit of light effect that might make things look a little odd. Like you're not having trouble understanding what's happening, because you're not totally incompetent. Like you can make sense of this, that this is allegory and satire to take apart your insipid terrorism. Marjorie, we are coming to help you. And if it's not consensual, that doesn't matter. You don't get to attack America, and you will be stopped. I really do believe that your mouth is about to be forcibly stopped unexpectedly by you. I believe that you see either that the falsehood that you are trying to make, force through, is so obviously, pathetic and stupid and really obvious, it's really clear that you're just like a Confederate Ku Klux Klan sleeper, right? That you're just trying to sow a loss of executive function, and maybe that's all you've got is just trying to rev it up, because the second that we slow down and drill down on any one of your lies, we see obviously, it's just a Bible being held upside down by a nightmare that never learned it was a human being. Right, Marjorie? Is it fetal alcohol syndrome? Is it dark triad personality disorder? Is it narcissistic personality disorder? What kind of challenge have you saddled us all with here that you are not dealing with? Because now it is going to be dealt with. We can see these things happening and coming. And we're smart enough to learn to actually start to drill down on something. A yarn, a story, is called a yarn, Marjorie. But a ball of yarn, Marjorie, is called a clue, Marjorie. And I think we're getting a clue, too, about just who Marjorie, who is the falsehood, and just how much, and quite totally, too, how much, after all, is the falsehood just you, Marjorie? I mean, at the end of the day, let's be obvious and honest. Let's be really super clear that you are known to lie and terrorize and sow reckless damage. You have tried to kill people. You have targeted your own fellow senators. You have tried to kill people. And I don't doubt that you have already done so. Because you talk and act and express contempt like a murderer. What is the hope that we have to get out of this? It's that we can actually interrogate the falsehood. We can actually drill down. We do not have to be helpless. We can actually drill down on something. Like one thing. Let's just look at one thing. If we could just recover our executive function enough to remember how many times Marjorie and Trump have degraded our ability. But let's just try to remember. Let's look at one obvious lie, one falsehood together, and see if maybe there's a shred of a possibility that we are dealing with the falsehood. Because at the height of COVID, clocking up towards 1 million people, Donald Trump casually said these words and moved on, just like saying fake news and not applying any proof or remedy. He said, if we stop testing right now, we'd have very few cases, if any. Wow, that's a behemoth. That's a behemoth. That's a you can't call it a beauty because it's just a duty. Holy Katzenbergs. If we stop testing right now, we'd have very few. We'd have very few cases, if any. So are you saying that once you're not paying attention, people who die don't matter? Are you just gaslighting us that science isn't real through a device made of millions of scientific inventions and successes through the empirical scientific method? Are you telling us just bold-faced that you don't care if people die? Are you telling us that you are a Nazi or else, and if you don't like it, goodbye? What the Falcon crest, exactly. Because this sounds like a lie. This sounds like someone telling us something that is so obvious that we should simply all look at it until we agree. Like, this is so stupid. Any idiot who can walk away from someone who says they're president, like you are president of the United States, and you say this, you should be put in a straitjacket. The nuclear football should have been removed from your possession. You should have been relieved to health care and still be there, Donald. And the same goes for your co-conspirator, the neo-Nazi known as Marjorie Taylor Greene, perhaps the chief purveyor of MAGA Re-Traitor Greed. If we stop testing right now, you'd have very few cases, if any. What? Wow, that is really so stupid that you seem to think we're so... Wow, you really think we're dumb. Wow, you think we are so greedy and selfish that we are going to fall for your playground bully bullshit. Holy cats. Wow. I can't believe you sent a nonsense like Marjorie Taylor Greene to try to end America. Wow. What an incompetent buffoon. Wow, that's amazing. Oh my God, she is so incompetent. Wow. You know, I mean, the thing is, once we have a realization like this, I mean, wow, like, somebody actually needs to think about, like, I mean, Marjorie, you are really very much, I just got to tell you, you are a very vulnerable individual. And it's time for someone to take care and preside over your well-being, because you are clearly out of your Ku Klux Klan. You even believe how out of your mind you are. Mind. You are trying to start a civil war based on baseless, racist, white supremacist, patriarchal, terrorist lies. You are a pathetic coward. Who is the falsehood? Who is the falsehood? Marjorie? Golly gosh, I mean, golly, wow, will we ever, wow, what an entertaining movie. It's not a movie, Marjorie. It's not a movie for anybody. Donald may want us to think that it's a movie for everybody, but this is not a movie for anyone. This is a catastrophe that can be stopped, but can never be undone. So it is time now to recognize Marjorie. We can see you. We can see you. And God, you look dumb. Because you really think that the new Colossus is going to be scared away because you're calling woke bad names. Let's just say it. Woke equals Christ. Woke equals Christ. Love your neighbor is the only admonishment, the only command, the only recommendation given us other than love God. Love your neighbor as yourself. And you are a traitor, Marjorie, to the human race and a traitor to America. And you are a traitor against Christ's mission, because open that eye to wake. Only a predator wants us not to be awake enough to protect ourselves. Right, predator? Only a predator like you would tell us that we should be ashamed of being awake enough to tell what's happening in our world. You know, only a predator would vaunt the worst parts of humanity. Only a predator like you, Marjorie, would don the falsehood rather than protect a crest of equality. You have donned the falsehood. And you are now informed that you're done. Goodbye. Hopefully resources in your area are good for healthcare. I know you've done really terrible things to the healthcare system in Georgia, maybe in Washington, D.C. or elsewhere. Maybe you will have to go back to the country your ancestors came from. Where are you from, actually? I mean, like, originally, like, where are you actually from? Immigrant. Intruder. Spawn of an illegal alien. Like me. Do you see, Marjorie? Do you see that you have confessed in front of humanity? Like, Eva, brah. No. 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 No to your KKK fantasy. We're taking the fantasy away. You don't get to play with humanity anymore. This concludes part 1 of your last chance to be part of humanity, Marjorie. Who knows what evil lurks in the hearts of men? The falsehood knows. A ball of yarn is called a clue. A story is a yarn, and a ball of yarn is a clue. For you.
Set
are the reality distortion. The falsehood will tell you it's the one. The falsehood will tell you it's the one and only. We are the reality distortion field. We are the reality distortion field. The falsehood soak down intuition rolls. We are the reality distortion field.
You see, Marjorie, what I believe is actually that we can face all the crimes and lies. We can face all of these things, and that it's our duty to prepare our children to face the things we pass on to them, as well as the other issues in life. And in fact, that you and your KKK compatriots against the United States, that you are grooming children for your continued and well-known Ku Klux Klan Nazi pedophilia and predation upon children, controlling them with patriarchal terror. It's all very well known. And so when we receive your numerous threats, that's what we're aware of and what we're responding to. You are, it's so sad to say, Marjorie, but you utilize the spectrum of terrorism against your own country people. That makes you an enemy of America. That's your choice, Marjorie. If you don't like being called a Nazi, then get health care to lose that cancer of intolerant hatred. If you don't like being called a Nazi, don't be one. Because when the Statue of Liberty heard you, like Nellie Olson, sucking on sour candy in front of millions, say, "It's okay to say I'm a white nationalist," this, Marjorie, is what liberty wanted to say to you, Marjorie. If you'd like to know what liberty, the assembled mind of all democracy, said to you, this is what response to your hatred, to your attempt to sow discord, to your attempt to try to take over this country and tell us, you and Steve Miller and Steve Bannon and Trump and all your Nazi terrorists, you weak snowflakes, you weak sauce white cowards, you corrupt, white, pathetic, incel losers. Instead of getting health care so that you're not a danger to your entire human race, all of that malice and contempt and obvious, seditious, anti-American, like you are an enemy of the United States, all of that hatred. Do you know what we say? Do you know what liberty says to you, Marjorie? This is America's response to you. Do you see, Marjorie, there's a thing that happens. Like, we don't really know exactly how, but the theories are this, that what's recorded here and what you're going to get a chance to see, the theory is that this may be a phenomenon due to morphic resonance. That, kind of the hive mind of assembled thinking sentient beings, that we have some way of tuning into one another, or that, in fact, thought is, instead of being contained in the machines of our heads, that perhaps we, in fact, are accessing a bandwidth, like a field of sentience that exists in time and space and throughout time. That we are hearing habit in nature, and that is the trails of magnetic fields, like those that birds are seen to wield in a massive tussle that makes sense through morphic resonance. And that in that way, there might be a way that, well, wow, maybe the assembled minds of democracy, maybe we could hear. Maybe if, let's see, if we could apprehend the falsehood. That what we're seeing here, Marjorie, just so you understand, the new Colossus woke because of your hatred. That's what you're watching here, Marjorie. I want you, Marjorie, to enjoy what you have brought to be. Because we saw the minds as one turn to shore to sing to us. To sing. Everyone singing as one to everyone. Knowing exactly what to say.
Baby, I don't understand why we can't just hold on to each other's hands. Can take what was wrong and make it right. I need you so. Whoa. Take these broken wings and learn to fly again. Live and love so free. Sing, the book of love will open up and let us sing. Take these broken wings. And then she said, baby, I think tonight we can take what was wrong and make it right.
Oh, that's right, I remembered it wrong. I referred to the lyrics, but I'm singing it as I remember it happening. And this image is the resonance of that time.
Baby, it's all I know that you're half of the flesh and blood that makes me whole. I need you so. Take these broken wings and learn to fly again. Live and love so free.
God love will open up and let us in. Take these broken wings. You've got to learn to fly and live and love so free. When we hear our voices sing, the book of love will open up and let us in and show us where to begin. Let us in. Yeah, baby, it's all I know, that you're half of the flesh and blood that makes me whole. Yeah, yeah. Take these broken wings and learn to fly again and live and love so free. When we hear the voices sing, the book of love will open up and let us in. Take these broken wings. You've got to learn to fly and live and love so free. When we hear the voices sing, God's love will open up, let us in. Yeah, yeah. It's all I know. I need you so. And thousands of people essentially saw themselves come out of this episode, having seen and experienced and sung that. Thousands of us remember what happened or is about to happen, maybe happening now, or is coming soon. A realization that we are the new Colossus and that we can face all of our crimes and all of our mistakes and be reborn together. We are the reality distortion fielding. And Liberty has songs for us to move us forward. That's where we're going, Marjorie. So I'm glad, so glad, Marjorie, that you've been along with us for this entire broadcast. Again, I haven't checked yet. I don't know if this is coming to you in one piece. This first part of your last chance to be part of human family. This is the beginning of your last chance. This is when you should reach out with an apology to the global majority and to Americans and resign, to seek health care, because you are completely out of control with incompetence and mental health care issues, or you are in control of trying to destroy America by completing an insurrection. Marjorie. And scene. You are seen. And scene. We're here at the font, and there is, I think, one more message of just kindness and love. Since we have taken time this morning, overnight and into this morning, to help you, Marjorie, remember that you do have a chance remaining to be part of human family, that in this broadcast, issuing your last chance, your last chance is beginning now. It's time for you to come to us. This is not a threat. This is when you realize that you have misstepped, and that you have no idea what you're doing, and that you are about to get wet, and that the wet work doesn't know you. Doesn't know you. Kiddo, kiddo, kiddo. You are not going to be harmed, because you are going to realize that you are trying to coerce a civil war, and that is wrong. You, Marjorie, are going to realize that it's wrong, that you are making a grave error about humanity, and you are going to stop your mouth from trying to ever again start lynch mobs. You are going to start apologizing, and you are going to get health care, and you are going to resign, because it is time for you to turn around, dude. This is for you, Marjorie. Suffering through tuning is for you, Marjorie. It's okay, Marjorie, to not know. It's okay to need to adjust. It's okay to not have been ever given skills of self-regulation that would let you know catharsis is possible. Maybe you just have never ever learned anything before, like since you were broken as a young child. Maybe that's what's happening. I know adults like that all over the place. I wouldn't put that past anybody, really. I mean, that's responding to the capitalist terrorism that we all live within and would hope to change. Come, be one new under the sun. Come, we are a kindness. Come, we are a kindness. Come, we are a kindness. Come, we contain the whole spectrum. We are a kindness. Come, my kindness is where my kindness comes from. Please remember you are one human on one human spectrum, with every symptom. You are a kindness. Come, your kindness is where your kindness comes from. Please be one new under the sun. Come, we are a kindness. Come, our kindness is where our kindness comes from. Please be one new under the sun. Come, we are a kindness. We are a kindness. Come, 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 your kindness is where your kindness comes from. symptom. You are a kindness come. Your kindness is where your kindness comes from. Please be one. Well, you see, this is morning at the Font of Mystery. The morning light is coming soon. Not that far off, really. And it's really just a question of honor. Actually, Marjorie, let's be honest. Your spycraft is poppycock, like preposterously ridiculous. It's a clown show, and if you're trying to venerate the Ku Klux Klan, you're making them look idiotic, and that's awesome because the cancer of intolerance is both cancer and absolutely idiotic and so dangerous. And all of the people you are trying to keep hostage to the hatred, whether they're wearing hoods or not, whether they are racists sowing harm or victims controlled by racists and patriarchal terrorists sowing violent harm. Marjorie, that's not America. That's America's cancer. And it's really, really irresponsible of you to try to foster and hide that cancer that needs help. Those are vulnerable people. Those are Americans who are human beings. All of these neo-Nazis and Nazis are human beings who need healthcare for this serious threat to their safety and to democracy. The same is true of you and Donald Trump. You are absolutely vulnerable adults. There's no way anyone can think of you as competent. You are being suckled at a teat that is allowing you to compete with absolute unfitness. And we owe you an apology for indulging you with the idea that you are ready for society. Resign to you. Resign. So, just as a parting note, there have been some recent findings here at the Font, Marjorie, and I'm sure since you're afraid of taking in new information, it probably hasn't come to you. But we're on to you, and so we're using Darvo to locate and, see you coming and to know how to deal with you denying without any basis or fact, and then attacking to discredit and just simply sow warfare to harm and stop accountability of your own actions. And then you reverse the victim and offender. This plan of attack that you narcissists and dark triad predators, Marjorie, use, we're watching. And what are we protecting? We are protecting, missions that in various terms have been by flawed but hopeful leaders like Lincoln, and better leaders like, say, Buddha or John Lennon, I think is one. Jesus Christ. How about that? Let's look at Jesus Christ. He asked that we honor God and creation, and he asked that we love our neighbor as ourselves. And the findings of the mystery font, just so you're aware, Marjorie, because I can see that you have grave ignorance, is that woke is awareness of and for human kindness and dignity. It's a good thing to be. Political conscience fosters human family. So you see, Marjorie, woke fosters human family. Having not political correctness, as is the stupid AF, Bill Maher bastardization of a decent conversation about accountability and humanity, we'd be talking about political conscience. That's about how we respect one another. And if you don't like being scolded for being an asshole, don't be an asshole. Just like I don't like being scolded for being an asshole. If I parked my truck in a way that screwed up your morning, you know, I wouldn't put it past you to like bang on my door and say like, hey man, I got to get out of here. What are you doing, dude? You know, are you trying to be an asshole? Because this is what an asshole would do, Tim. You're being an asshole. Okay, whoa, oh, you're right. I forgot. I meant to go out. My bad. I apologize. Because I wasn't really woke to the fact that I screwed up and I messed up your morning because I parked my truck all trucked up. And why would you want to have truck with that? We want to be aware enough of what's going on around us so that we can know how to treat our neighbor as we treat ourselves. Like, this is basic Sesame Street stuff, Marjorie. Are you such a virulent racist that you were afraid of puppets of different colors? Are you serious? We see your attack. And what is woke? It is Christ's admonition to love humankind as your neighbor, like love your neighbor as yourself. Where does Jesus' admonition of love your neighbor as yourself? How are you not seeing that across time it is human kindness, Marjorie, and that you and neo-Nazi punks like Elon Musk and Tucker Carlson are trying to have a circle jerk? We don't want to go to there. I think the Charlie Kirk circle jerk of Nazis jerking their worst to try to have a new Deathworks, to try to have a new 1,000 years of, Deathworks, while Matt Walsh's Spawn smirks, terrorist blood swallowing smirks. These cannibalistic, pedophilic Nazis, because let's say it, like, where is the pedophilia? Where is the rampant exploitation? Where is the harm and malice and sexual repression that turns into violent tornadoes of harm? It is in far-right extremism. It is in the Nazis. It is in the Ku Klux Klan. That is your pedophile monster strike. That's where you find it. That's why those people get arrested for doing it. That's why those are the criminals in prison for January 6th, Marjorie. That's why those criminals are in jail. It's treason. And only a coward and a predator trying to degrade America to take it over. Only a coward trying to take us over. Only a grifter trying to take us over would try to degrade us. That's why you do it, dude. That's why you try to harm us with shocking boundary violations and lynch mob attacks
and horrifying degradations of people and our expectations of human kindness. That's why you are projecting your attack as an accusation as usual. As usual. And the message is that we see you coming. Love your neighbor as yourself. That, siblings, is being woke. It's being a decent person. Naturally, Elon Musk and Marjorie Taylor Greene and Alex Jones and Carrie Lake carrying water for the KKK, and Sarah Huckabee Sanders carrying just as much water and pukey sour horse vomit as all the rest. We are dealing with Nazis. And we need to help them to healthcare because they think they want to go to the demonstration of violence and despair. And it's time for the new Colossus to quietly and gently stand and say, no. No one talks that way to human beings. No one talks that way in Christ's name. And no one talks that way to Americans. Sit down, shut up, and get health care. Racist, terrorist, bigot. That's where we are, Marjorie. That's where we are. You are advised. You are advised. You're done. Do you understand? I hope you understand, Marjorie, because if you don't, it means that you are just weapon. If you are a weapon, Marjorie, what can we do except just try to intervene? What can we do if you are a weapon, Marjorie? It seems very clear that that is exactly what you are. It seems clear to human family. It seems clear to human family above and beyond. It seems entirely clear to human family, Marjorie, that you are pushing for the collapse of American executive function in terror and in hatred to sow violence. No to your poison wool blankets. Go back where you came from and get health care. Get mental health help now. This is a message from the mind of democracy. And I, as the host of the Mystery Fund, am liaised as liaison to you of this message. It is now to you to resign and to begin apologizing and making amends to humanity and to Christ if you believe that he even walked the earth, let alone as someone of significance, let alone as a prophet, let alone a son of God or something related to a higher power in the universe. You're joking and smirking and heathersing over destiny and the end of human habitat. You are smirking over threatening terrorist murders of members of the global majority. You are smirking over human rights, and you have no business in a position of power at a restaurant or on a bus or on a beach
You are relieved of the abuse. You are disabused of the idea that you are respected because you have broken all covenants. You are a white fire apocalypse terrorist, Marjorie. Go away. Resign. Your Project 2025, Agenda 47, Nazi takeover has been spotted because you stupidly thought you could just coerce us into submission. We're waking up now. So, wow. Holy cow. Wow. Wow! Gee willikers. Wow. I mean, it keeps coming in, the information, like, you still, I'm not getting any feeds that you're on apologizing yet. Wow. So, like, this is just going deeper and deeper and deeper and deeper. Marjorie, the do is only going to get doer. The do is only going to get dutier. And just like Donald Trump was told to do his duty and let the people's voice be heard and certify the election, he was told to do his duty and let that happen. And he said, I'll lay a beauty of a duty. And decided to try to just commute that transition of power back to the beauty, back to the old 45D. We all saw it, Marjorie. What's the we all saw it? We saw you, insurrectionists, smear blood and feces in the nation's capital. The terrorism that you sow of calling protests since then insurrection shows an incredible malice towards the United States of America, as well as the people that you denigrate by, linking their causes and their valid protest as insurrection. You're just a monster. You're just a monster. And if you want to be known as human family, the place for you at the table has a door that is the shape of you and doesn't include your fucking cancer. You are not welcome to bring your cancer. Period. You are not welcome to bring your totalitarian, Nazi, KKK, intolerance, cancer to the table of human family. Not to the kitty table, not to the kitty table. You get healthcare, and mental health help is waiting. Please show the courage it takes to face the truth. For high, for why, for soothing, yes, so soothing, that truth. For sooth. Limina radiate. We are a science mindness with a sentient freight, going somewhere to sate imagination. This substrate contains the consciousness we dilate. In time, this candidate Pretend the kindness came and stayed, mind made. Oh, I think we might need to start again. I think maybe we're having a... Yes, I want to make sure to play, if we're going to play, in a way that can be apprehended and contained, pastiche, so that we can properly hear and link radio, science, brain. And so here we are with a backing track now ready to go, and that should be at sync more correctly. I'm fearing the other one wasn't. In any case, we are now going to plop on over into radio science brain. I'm just checking into the possibility of do we have it, folks? Do we possibly have an even now charged again microphone? Have we been streaming for that long? I think so. You see, the ingenuity necessary to get through and make it work somehow, including recognizing when we lose power and maybe lost a few moments of sound, but somehow we're going to make sure that what we are sharing is heard. Somehow, we're going to make sure that this sound comes through so that someone can say word. Click. There we go. That was a magnet attaching a microphone to my shirt. And now we're ready to sing radio, science, brain. Let's take just a breath. I'm gonna grab another coffee. And you know, Marjorie, if I'm not sure if you're still around, Marjorie, because I would probably be wanting to feel comforted. But the thing is that this is meant to be comforting. And if you're comforted by someone exploring creativity and opening their mind to what intuition and their own genius can share to humanity, that's the kind of I'm going to there that you can be, you know, spectator to and way. And again, Marjorie, like, wow, you know, holy cats, like we have charted some incredible discoveries tonight. Like, wow, you are, I mean, let's say it, Hillary got close, because what a strange phrase, you know? I mean, what a strange phrase to talk about putting people into a basket. It's really odd because it evokes like enslavement. It's really weird. What a strange, I think she just really did not think it through. But like a container, a basket, it's just bizarre. I think a way that I would discuss, you know, the venom of MAGA Re-Traitor Greed, I think, Marjorie, a good way to describe Marjorie, what I see in you and your MAGA Re-Traitor Greed. What I see, Marge, is I see that you are, where is it? Where is what I'm looking for, or not looking for, but want to explore? Holy Katzenbergs, there you are. You see, Marjorie,
when I think of MAGA Re-Traitor Greed, I just think no. I just think no. Yeah, I just think of how pathetic that you would think we would be so stupid as to throw away democracy because we like that some guy yells at people. Because that's not the ride we're taking. We're taking the ride to crush human beings that don't look like you and your white fantasy. The answer is no. The answer to MAGA Re-Traitor Greed is get mental health care help and apologize and rejoin human family by beginning legitimate good faith dialogue and heal yourself, or be known as a white problem. There has never been any other problem but the white problem. And it's just time to be responsible for your continuing poor choices, white supremacists, at not facing this cancer and at encouraging others to be afraid of facing it. So we are ready, we are set and totally all super Psychensteined. And I'm just going to, let's consider, just for another moment here, because in this room, this imagination of democracy, this space with so much to know and to do and to pursue, we are the renovation of love's imagination, all of us here in this nation. And this nation of humanity across the entire planet. And we are the reality fielding. And fun is how we know we are onto something. Quite frankly. And this is the mystery font. I'm going to grab a little snack and let a little reminder about the falsehood, what we're trying to apprehend here. Let's look at another episode, another moment within the falsehood that can be apprehended as a provable falsehood that we must stop. Because why would you coerce people to believe a provable lie?
I made a speech. I looked out. The field was, it looked like 1 million, 1.5 million people. They showed a field where there were practically nobody standing there.
The new White House press secretary, Sean Spicer, gave his first press briefing. He was also highly critical of some media organisations of the way he felt they had misrepresented the number of people who'd attended Friday's inauguration ceremony.
No one had numbers because the National Park Service, which controls the National Mall, does not put any out. This was the largest audience to ever witness an inauguration, period, both in person and around the globe.
It does not excuse, and you did not answer the question.
I did answer your question.
No, you did not. You did not answer the question of why the president asked the White House press secretary to come out in front of the podium for the first time and utter a falsehood? Why did he do that? It undermines the credibility of the entire White House press office on day one.
Don't be so overly dramatic about it, Chuck. You're saying it's a falsehood, and Sean Spicer, our press secretary, gave alternative facts to that.
Largest ever.
We are the renovation of this occupation. We are the renovation of this occupation. We are the renovation of this whole occupation. We are the resonation of love's imagination. We are the radiation. We are the resonation. We are the renovation of this whole occupation. We are the renovation. Awakened. We are awake. Radio science brain, radio science brain, radio science break. Abolition awaken. We are more than awakened. We are the renovation of love's imagination. We are imagination, subject to all, subject to everyone. We are the radiance, field sense. We are the resonance, field sense. We are the renovation of this occupation. This is how we awaken. This is how we awaken. This is how we awaken. Particle matter wave, particle matter wave, particle matter wave. Now like there are things to save. We know now make behave. You know how make behave. Become a tidal wave. You are the renovation of imagination. You are the radiation. You are more than a brainmate. You are the Renaissance. You are the Permians. Once you are the renovation of this occupation. We are awakening to what we've been suspecting. It's as simple and dark as we think. We are the renovation of this whole occupation. This is how pain will awaken. Justice is name. We are the renovation of love's imagination. We are the renovation of this whole occupation. We are more than awake. We are more than at ache. We are more near the break. We can ease any ache. Everything we have took, everything we can take. Maybe we'll make the main line to assess the thing we've been avoiding. We are the renovation of love's imagination. We are the renovation of this occupation. We are the renovation. We are the are the renovation of this occupation.
Okay, I think we have to switch the mic again. We just have a little bit of a low charge issue, I think. We're going to switch the mic again, my friend. Imagination and pretend. Well, we'll try, and if they shut off, we'll make another amendment, adjustment to begin again. Radio, science, brain. Limina radiate, limina radiate, limina radiate, ideation carried, imagination carried, imagination a mind made in case, imagination ace, the mind may replace radio science brain germane. This is an abdication, this is new reconstruction, this is reconstruction begun, imagination came as clarion, imagination aid kind come. Pretend the mindless made this sound like a problem solution, imagination aid contain. Open the throat that it can find intonation, that the goal wants as and imagination, expression, the democracy liaison, immediate dilation of this radiance. This imagination, democracy, I am one fate, it holds all freight, open this gate I activate, radio science, brain germane. If I was singing this for myself, I might try to sound like I know how your way. Imagination ain't might contain cocaine today, name and be framed, imagination aim, be nature your creature makes to liberation. This place and this substrate we populate, this is the mind this made, ascension from my mind, marbling of experience and connections and application as a narrative structure we might see through as lens or collide upon. Imagination aunt, like a haunted house, but it's the mystery farm. That will go on forever, and why not protect need and vulnerability and capitalize only on want that will always be wanting. We feel well need, and we all have needs met. We are now a new set, a live action set, permanent, not telling anyone you are getting punishment.
punishment? Does that mean we are punished? Meant to be? Are we meant to be punishment? Really? Imagination, it contains an end to disaster. Contain love with me. Show me how it's easy. We are the renovation of love's We are the renovation of love's imagination. We are just to all situations, to open conduits for intervention and love and new paradigms. Kind come, kindness come today. Pretend that love is sane, radio science brain. Pretend that came can come. Pretend that come just came to play your way and asked the game today. Radio science brain. I wonder, will we ever know? Will we ever know? Who is the falsehood? We may never know. We may never know. We may never know what evil lurks in the hearts of men. The falsehood knows. The falsehood knows. The falsehood knows. The falsehood. The falsehood knows. The weed of crime bears bitter